ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬಂದಿರುವಂಥ ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಬ್ಬರಿಗೂ ಸ್ವಾಗತ, ಆದರದ ವಂದನೆ. I'm going to request all our esteemed guests to please take your seats. We are all set to begin this program, and the next few minutes, in fact the next couple of hours, are going to be spent in very purposeful conversation. So I welcome you. In fact, this morning, some of you who had been having conversations outside this room find yourselves inside this hall. A very warm welcome to the ET Make in India SME Regional Summit, an Economic Times initiative to enable future-ready MSMEs to power the India at 100 vision. My name is Vasanthi Hari Prakash. Nanu radio television prapanchadinda bandu. I am also a media prono. I'm the founder of Pickle Jar, which conveys these stories of business via conversations and podcasts of the India growth story. Now, on behalf of the economictimes.com, I am very excited to welcome you to the Bengaluru edition of the ET SME Regional Summit. And today, we've gathered here particularly to focus on Karnataka's MSME ecosystem. And the theme itself, as you will find displayed here, is reimagining growth for MSMEs in Karnataka. It's going to enable opportunities and innovations in the state's thriving small business ecosystem. Those of you who are in this room do not need to be told about the role that's played by MSMEs in Namma Rajyada economy. I'll come to that in a bit. But to mention that the Bengaluru edition of the ET Make in India Regional Summit of MSMEs is brought to you by economictimes.com in partnership with Aditya Birla Finance Limited as the presenting partner, the New India Assurance Company Limited as the insurance partner, the Government of Karnataka as a state partner, BCIC as the industry partner, and Invest Karnataka as the ecosystem partner. Before I invite our distinguished guests onto the stage for the ceremonial lamp lighting, I want to spend a moment acknowledging and celebrating the MSME sector itself. Karnataka, Namma Rajya, 8.5 laksha MSMEs, that is 8.5 lakh MSMEs, contributing approximately 30% of the state's GDP, pivotal role in the industrial development and economy, employing 55 lakh people. Let's really spend a moment. The applause could be much louder. Those who are not present in this room, we celebrate their contribution as well. And therefore, I now invite our distinguished guest of honor, the Chief Guest, Dr. S. Selvakumar, IAS Principal Secretary, Commerce and Industries Department, Government of Karnataka. Shri Rakesh Singh, Managing Director and CEO, Aditya Birla Finance Limited. Towards the center of the stage. Also, Mr. Sirish Mathur, Head SME Products and Digital Platforms, Aditya Birla Finance Limited. Mr. Sanjay Paigankar, Chief Manager, Techno Marketing Department, Head Office, the New India Assurance Company Limited. I'd also request Neha Diwan, Assistant News Editor at the Economic Times, to please join the distinguished guest center stage. May I also invite Dr. S. Devarajan, Past President, BCIC, SVP, TVS Motors, Mr. H.R. Jairam, BCIC, Chairperson, MSME Export Committees. Could we also have Mr. Ravi, Vice President, BCIC? ದೀಪವನ್ನ ಬೆಳಗೋ ಮೂಲಕ ಈ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮದ ಪ್ರಾರಂಭ. ಶನಿವಾರದ ಬೆಳಗ್ಗೆ ಈ ಒಂದು ಶುಭ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮ ನಡೀತಾ ಇದೆ, and I'm really happy to be invited to be the Sutradhar for this program. Thank you. Thank you to all our guests who facilitated the lamp lighting that marks the beginning of this conversation. For the very first session of the day, to really understand how the government of Karnataka is creating an ecosystem to foster growth and innovation in the state, I would like to invite our special guest, but before that, may I invite Neha Diwan, Assistant News Editor, Economic Times, to deliver the welcome address.
Good morning to everyone, and it's great to see you all here on a Saturday morning, and the hall is full. There could be not a better start than that. I welcome you all. Dr. S. Selva Kumar, Principal Secretary, Commerce and Industries Department, Government of Karnataka. Mr. Rakesh Singh, Managing Director and CEO, Aditya Birla Finance Limited. Mr. Shirish Mathur, Head SME Products and Digital Platforms, Aditya Birla Finance Limited. Panel members, speakers, ladies and gentlemen. I welcome you all to the ET Make in India SME Regional Summit in Bengaluru, the Garden City, the startup and the IT capital of India. In fact, Bengaluru is tied with Sydney at the 21st spot in the list of top 40 global startup ecosystems, according to Startup Genome's Global Startup Ecosystem Report 2024. A cost-effective talent pool, a vibrant tech hub, and a magnetic pull on VC firms makes the city an attractive destination for businesses to start up and thrive in the city. If we look at the MSME ecosystem, Karnataka is home to more than 8.5 lakh MSMEs, which provide employment to over 55 lakh people. Major industries include food processing units, engineering units, foundry, automobile units, chemical plants, and handicraft units. Intrigued by the bustling nature of the Bengaluru MSME ecosystem, I remember visiting the city in 2020 to moderate a panel as part of an ET Rise Dialogues event, which focused on ways to enhance the MSME sector's participation into the financial mainstream. The panel highlighted that a data-rich India is needed to jumpstart financial inclusion and spoke about a large number of MSMEs lacking the digital footprint necessary to join the financial bandwagon. Interestingly, it also delved on how many MSMEs have never even seen the door of a bank and how a lot of them go by hearsay about not being able to secure a loan. We at the Economic Times want to bust such myths by stating facts on the ground and helping small businesses decode the complexities of the economic landscape. In fact, I was discussing with some MSMEs here about some of the main challenges that plague the ecosystem. Besides a lack of adequate financial literacy, it is skill development, procuring raw materials at reasonable prices, and sustainability readiness, which continue to act as constraints to their growth. A case in point is the Pune industrial area, one of Bengaluru's oldest industrial hubs, which faces a significant challenge: rising urban temperatures due to the urban heat island effect. It has also been facing infrastructure bottlenecks, traffic congestion, and environmental concerns. The area is home to a host of small, medium, and large-scale industries spanning various sectors such as engineering, electronics, automobile parts, garments, and more. Taking stock of such challenges to ensure vibrancy and survival of the MSME sector will be imperative to its success. We want to be a part of such solutions which can pave a better path for small businesses in the city. We want to be in step with MSMEs in the inspiring journey of resilience and perseverance. Our endeavor is to make more of such stories seen, heard, and spoken about. With these summits, which comprise a series of on-ground events across India, we seek to unlock opportunities, tackle challenges, and foster knowledge sharing and networking among the stakeholders. Handholding MSMEs into a world of financial freedom is the need of the hour to make this sector more self-reliant and industry-ready. India's 63 million MSMEs have a plethora of opportunities that are waiting in the wings for them. They have to seize this opportunity and make this moment count. It is their time to rise, shine, and serve as an example for others to emulate. I once again extend a warm welcome to you all and hope you assimilate enriching insights from the sessions today. I look forward to meeting you on the sidelines of the event and discussing opportunities and challenges. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thanks so much, Neha, for also giving a reality check on what the industry scenario, particularly in Pune, is. As a journalist, that's also been a subject of my interest, and I always am intrigued by the fact that while we speak of startups, we never really count so much or speak about the machine tool side of Bangalore, which is really, I think, absolutely phenomenal. The machine tool capital, you could call certainly this city of ours and this capital city. So with that, I actually would like to invite the chief guest of the day, Sri Selva Kumar, to present to us and the address on K-Win City and Swift Park investment opportunities for MSMEs. Sri Selva Kumar, please.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It's my honor to address you all today at the MSME conclave, a vital precursor to our Global Investors Meet 2025. Karnataka has always been a land of innovation and opportunity, consistently at the forefront of India's economic and industrial growth. Our state has emerged as a hub of technology, research, and entrepreneurship, fostering an environment where businesses, particularly MSMEs, thrive. MSMEs form the backbone of Karnataka's economy, as already has been told by our speaker earlier. It is contributing significantly to the employment, exports, and GDP. Today, I am also pleased to introduce a transformative project that underscores Karnataka's vision for the future, K-Win City, Queen City, which stands for knowledge, well-being, and innovation. Spread across 2,000 acres, Queen City is set to redefine the landscape of innovation, healthcare, and education, placing Karnataka at the helm of global advancements. Located just 60 kilometers from Bengaluru, Queen City is strategically positioned to serve as a beacon of growth and opportunity for industries, including SMEs. The development of Queen City will create thousands of job opportunities, generate new avenues for partnerships, and integrate MSMEs into global value chains. By collaborating with this ecosystem, MSMEs will have access to world-class infrastructure, research institutions, and support systems that will enable them to scale new heights. In line with this, I am delighted to introduce SME Connect, an initiative designed to empower and enable small and medium enterprises to expand their reach, grow their networks, and access global opportunities as a part of Global Investors Meet, that is Invest Karnataka 2025. The Global Investors Meet from February 12th to 14th, with inauguration on February 11th at the iconic Bangalore Palace. This year's theme, Reimagining Growth, embodies Karnataka's vision to drive growth that is tech-driven, green, inclusive, and resilient, reflecting our state's leadership in innovation and sustainable development. SME Connect serves as a vital platform for MSMEs to engage with industry leaders, investors, policymakers, and innovators, ensuring they have the resources and connections to succeed in a competitive global marketplace. Through SME Connect, businesses can benefit from access to markets, enabling MSMEs to showcase their products and services to global buyers and investors. Networking opportunities, creating linkages with key stakeholders, including large enterprises and government bodies, to foster collaboration and partnerships. Knowledge sharing, hosting sessions, workshops, and panel discussions with industry experts to help MSMEs to adopt best practices and modern technologies. Policy facilitation, providing MSMEs with clarity on policies, schemes, and incentives available to support their growth. SME Connect is not just a networking event. It's a movement to inspire and drive MSMEs towards innovation, competitiveness, and sustainability. We welcome all of you to SME Connect and the Global Investors Meet. As we gather here today, let us celebrate the contributions of MSMEs, the unsung heroes of our economy. Let us also explore how we can collaborate to unlock new opportunities for growth and innovation. Together, we can propel Karnataka towards a future of sustainable development and global leadership. Thank you.
Dr. Selvakumar, I'm going to request you to please step up on stage once again to accept a token of gratitude from the organizers. May we have Neha to please step up on stage, as well as Dr. S. Devarajan, Sri Rakesh Singh, also Mr. Ravi. This will be followed by a group photograph. If we can. Dr. S. Selvakumar, we just now heard him, IAS Principal Secretary, Commerce and Industries Department, Government of Karnataka, for sharing with us the initiative that will be an industry connect for the MSMEs and the project. We request Neha and the other distinguished people on the dais to hand over a token of gratitude to Sri Selvakumar. I request for a group photograph of all the expert committee members, also of BCIC, also Mr. H.R. Jairam, can you please step up on stage? Sri Selvakumar, they would request a group photograph along with you. Dr. Devarajan, Mr. H.R. Jairam, office bearers and chairpersons of MSME Expert Committee of BCIC, also Mr. Prithviraj, who's been the past president of the Pune Industrial Association of Kasia. Also, Mr. Shrish Mathur. It's going to be followed by conversations based on the theme. I would also be moderating a panel on the challenges that are being faced by the industry, along with many esteemed panelists here. For now, this group photograph symbolizes the coming together of many stakeholders in the MSME spectrum. Thank you so much, Mr. Selvakumar. After we heard about the initiative for K-Win City and Swift Park as an investment opportunity, next up is a conversation that is to be moderated by Neha Diwan, Assistant News Editor, theeconomictimes.com. Aditya Birla Finance Limited has been fueling MSME growth across India by facilitating easy access to credit and finance, which we all agree is the most important ingredient when it comes to the growth of business. The Udyog Plus platform of Aditya Birla Finance Limited, they say, is a one-stop solution for all growth-related requirements. Now, to shed light on this and how ABFL is empowering MSMEs, This is going to be a conversation between Sri Rakesh Singh and Neha in just a couple of minutes.
Hello. Hi, Rakesh, and great to have you with us here today and to know more about the financial ecosystem prevalent for MSMEs. Let me dive straight into the conversation. And since we are here in Bengaluru, I think the obvious question for me to ask you is, what makes you excited about the ecosystem here in the city and the MSMEs and the industries which are there?
First of all, good morning to everyone for taking time out on a Saturday morning and being here. So thank you so much. Karnataka and Bengaluru is like as you said, startup capital of the country. And it's almost, we heard 8.5 lakh MSMEs. There are 38 lakhs small businesses are registered on Udyam platform in Karnataka. So it's a big driver of MSME business for Karnataka and for us because our core segment or focus is the MSME segment. So if you look at, we have almost close to 1,20,000 crores of loan book. Out of that, 60% is to the MSME segment. So clearly, if you look at a lot of banks will focus on the corporate side or the consumer side, we are focused more on the MSME side. So clearly, that's really attracts us to Karnataka. We operate in 34 markets here in Karnataka to provide MSME financing. Also, it's just not through the branches that we provide. And as you mentioned in your introduction, we have created a digital platform, Udyog Plus. And as the principal secretary was mentioning, that there's so many initiatives at the Karnataka government which is being taken, SME Connect and all. I think this can really complement those things in terms of people who are looking at small businesses who are looking at availing financing. And also finance at the speed at which you are looking at. It's when the small business owner looks at the financing, you are able to provide them financing at that point in time rather than much later. So clearly, this platform, B2B platform, which we have built, Udyog Plus, that will help small business owners and MSMEs to really seek financing. So we are very excited, really focusing on this segment, and on the top of it, Karnataka and Bengaluru, because that's the hub of innovation. And if you look at Karnataka and Bengaluru, really focused on IT, textile, aero engineering, biotechnology. And I think, and also when we were discussing with the principal secretary, he mentioned, how do you create the supply chain, which really creates the core or the backbone of the large industries as well. So I think that's what we are really striving for, to create financing solution which is more seamless, simple, and in time.
Wonderful. And also we were having a chat a little time back where we were discussing about micro enterprises and how that forms the bulk of MSMEs in the country. So what are the kind of financial solutions do you think which are best tailored for their requirement?
So if you look at, and I think someone mentioned this, we have 63 million MSMEs in the country. Majority of them, almost 95% of them, or maybe more than that, is micro in nature. Their needs are very small. So if you look at the needs from a loan point of view will be less than 10 lakhs, majority of them. So, and that's the reason what we have, and I mentioned this, our B2B platform, where once the MSME applies for a loan, up to a certain ticket size, we give an instant decisioning. If beyond a certain ticket size, then the bank statement, then the GST registration or GST turnover, those things have to be uploaded. And once that's done, a complete seamless solution is we want to provide. So at the upper end of the MSMEs, and again, the definition of SME, MSME is quite different for everyone. So upper end and the mid layer of MSME, if you look at, I think they have access from banks, they have access from larger institutions. The challenge is at the bottom end, the micro businesses which are there. And that's the reason why we thought we will create a platform which is technologically driven and that's digitally driven. Because what happens is when you are delivering a small ticket loan, the cost of delivery itself is so high. Cost of delivery, cost of servicing, cost of collections, everything is so high that the unit economics does not make sense. So that's the reason this is all digitally enabled, that MSME can access through the web, through mobile app, and they can access the financing options from us. So clearly, also we are looking at how do we provide working capital solutions, how do we look at business expansion solutions, how do we look at cash flow management, so merchant loans, supply chain financing, term loans. So for these segment, we have ensured that we provide all of these product offerings which they are really looking at. So merchant cash advance, all of this is what we have built on the platform so that they can avail of this.
So there are like a gamut of options which they can choose from depending on their requirements. So taking off from that, I want to ask about how ABFL functions when it comes to lending in smaller cities. Do you have a physical presence or is it mostly done digitally?
No, so we have, it's a combination of both. You can't do business only physically or digitally. So we have a combination. So we believe in omni-channel, I think. So we have branches. As I mentioned, we operate in 34 markets in this state. Apart from that, we have a digital platform as well. So both, it complements one another. And it's just not that you have to walk into the branches, you can apply online as well for loan application. So clearly that's how we really balance it out. As I mentioned, for our micro business owners, because the ticket size and the loan sizes are small, the cost of delivery is pretty high. So we have built the entire journey, and on this platform, and Sirish will talk about it later in the session, it's completely online digital journey is what we have built. The scorecards have been built, so we are able to underwrite these customers on the fly, and we are able to give them decisions immediately. So clearly, that's the way we are looking at it. And also on this platform, it's just not about financing. These small business owners, they are looking for solutions to run their business on day-to-day basis. So if they're looking at protection for their business through protecting their shop or protecting their factory or providing in protection for their employees, all of this is available on the platform. Someone is looking for a payroll management, that is made accessible on this platform. Someone is looking for accounting solutions, that's being provided on this platform. So clearly, a one-stop solution is what we are looking at to really empower these small business owners to come on the platform, avail financing, and avail all other solutions so that they don't have to go all over and they don't have to really reach out to different companies, suppliers. All of this is provided on this platform. So clearly we are looking at both the branches to serve our customers as well as the digital platform to serve our customers.
That's very interesting because a lot of times, as you said, it's not just about finances, it's about giving them those solutions, and they may not know what works best for them. So I think that kind of knowledge and education is also needed, that mentoring. So that's I think that's a step in the right direction from that standpoint.
Yeah, and also what happens is since we are a NBFC and we are not a bank, so if you're a bank, you have multiple interaction and engagement with the bank because you have a checking account or current account with the bank and the transaction. So you have, here once you give the loan, there's no engagement with the customer. Your engagement is only when the customer bounces the check or he comes to close and those are not good interactions. So what we thought that we will create an engagement platform so that we keep creating awareness also on this platform. To your point, I think we want to make people aware that you can look for a financing solution. If you're looking at, you can come on the platform, and we keep engaging. So we'll keep pushing some information, some industry information to these business owners so that they can, the knowledge, imparting of knowledge, awareness, all of this happens on the platform. So it's more an engagement platform beyond just the financing.
Wonderful. My next question is related to that. Part of it I have got as this ongoing conversation, but I want to ask about how the MSME credit scenario has evolved over the last 7-8 years.
So if you look at FY17, I think the credit demand was almost 69 trillion Indian rupees, FY17. And at that point in time, the addressable market was almost 35, 36 trillion. Only 50% of these MSMEs were addressable. And the credit which was provided to them was only 11 trillion. So there was a 70% market or credit gap in this segment, which you fast forward to FY24 or now, that credit demand has almost gone to 138 trillion rupees. And on that, the credit supply is almost now from 11 trillion has gone to 35 trillion. So the gap which was there, 70% credit gap which was there for this segment has now come down to 50. And still there is a lot of gap which needs to be, I think, met by all of us, and all the industry association leaders are sitting here and they would know, and they try and provide this and facilitate this. I think there is still a lot of gap which needs to fill up. The good news is that post digitization and the DPI layers which has been built, I think we have much more data now to understand these customers because a lot of payments are happening in the digital form. The GST is another way of really assessing the business. RBI is doing a lot of innovation. So I think ULI, the Unified Lending, the layer which they are creating, and we are one of the partners in terms of, we recently did a hackathon with RBIH, which is RBI's innovation hub. And we were looking at finding solutions for how to lend to MSMEs and all. And there are 5 problem areas which we put it on and there are 75 fintechs have come forward to solve for those 5 problem statements which we have put it on the table. So we are trying to do a lot in terms of really taking the help of the innovation which is happening by RBI or this unified layer which is being created, and we should be able to plug ourselves into that so that we have much more information about the small business owners, and we can provide them solutions or decisioning in terms of loan and sanctioning them loans. So a lot of this happening. The DPI is the all public infrastructures which has been built, ONDC, OCAN. Though these are early days, if you look at ONDC and all, but this will reduce the dependence of large e-commerce players. It will be more democratic in terms of the data availability, and we have integrated our journeys on ONDC also. This will provide, once they come on ONDC, we will be able to provide them financing. So trying to do a lot of stuff to really address this, this credit gap which is there, how to narrow that credit gap. Yeah, so that's what we are really working at this point in time.
Yeah, and digital will play a big part in that.
Completely, it's all is digital. So all these journeys which I mentioned, integrating it with ONDC is all digital. We have integrated with OCAN. As I mentioned, we are integrating with ULI, and so all of this is all digital, and that's how the game will be in terms of how do you assess data, how do you use data to really understand and underwrite these MSMEs.
Right, and I want to ask a bit about simplifying the credit landscape. How does ABFL ensure quicker loan approvals and disbursals, and really to make it simpler for MSMEs to understand the various steps to it all?
So this is all, whatever I mentioned about the digital journeys is all about simplifying. So the instant decisioning which we are doing on Udyog Plus is completely instant. So up to a certain ticket size, if you apply, we can give you an instant decision in terms of approvals, disbursals as well, because now everything is, your documentation is also is e-sign, and you do, everything is online. So clearly for this segment, we want to make it very, very simple in terms of availing loan. Very simple and seamless is what we are looking at. I want to really, through all the industry leaders and the representatives, I want to just say that we should make our small business owners also aware that they need to keep their financial statement more cleaner, more transparent, so that it becomes easier for lending institutions also to do a much faster decision making. So, but all of this, wherever we are going digital, it's all about simplifying the loan processes. It's all about giving decision to an extent, instant decisions. So it can be a 2 minutes, 3 minutes, till whatever time it takes to apply for a loan, we can give a decisioning or sanction within 2-3 minutes or whatever. So that's what we are really looking at. Because if we want to go to these micro businesses, that's the only way. We cannot go physically to provide loans to these MSMEs, because as I mentioned earlier, the cost of delivery and the cost of servicing itself will be too high. And it won't make sense for us, and it won't make sense for them, because the time taken will be too much. So that's what we are really trying to address.
And just as a last question, and very quickly, I want to know, how does Aditya Birla Finance partner with its customers in their growth journey?
So clearly the way we look at it is, and again I will go back to Udyog Plus, we want to acquire customers when they are small. Yeah? And we want our customers to grow along with us. So their need might be 4-5 lakhs to start with. If their business grows, they want 10 lakhs, they can avail 10 lakhs, then it goes to 20 lakhs. Because we operate from 50,000 rupees to 500 crores or 1,000 crores, whatever. So we are in that segment. So we want our customers to really come start doing business with us when they're small and grow. And we are here to provide them the growth financing which they need to grow their business. Yes, in a lending business, to be sustainable, I think the performance of the portfolio is very, very important. And so that has to be, because otherwise we will not be able to sustain. So it's very important that that behavior also improves from this segment in terms of the repayment and in terms of the quality which we are looking at. So clearly we want our customers to come on board and grow along with us. We are here to finance their growth. We are here to ensure that they need money when they have need in the business. And rather than it's not an annual renewal or something like that, that you can, if you're looking at you have a higher order, then you can come back only the next year. No, we will, whenever the need is there, we are there to really assess the needs. So We want customers to come with the small requirements or a large requirements and grow with us. So that's what we are, and that's the reason why this engagement platform which we have created, so that customers are made aware of what offerings we are giving. We also understand what's happening in their business so that we can come and support their business. So clearly, we are here to partner with them in the growth journey, and that's the reason why we have partnered with ET is that we wanted a credible partner who can really disseminate this information, awareness to the largest set of small business owners and the MSMEs, so that they are more aware of the opportunity. And as you heard, SME Connect, and every state is doing it at this point in time. They're trying to bring in, SIDBI is playing a role, the government of India, Atmanirbhar Bharat, manufacturing, PLI, all of these initiatives are really working towards how do you create a larger supply chain, and the core of the MSME really gets strengthened and becomes much more significant than what it is today. So we are very excited as an institution. We are very, very excited. We are very bullish on this segment because as the Principal Secretary mentioned, it's the backbone of any economy, and it's backbone of India's economy as well. Today, it contributes close to 30% of the GDP of the country. But if you look at global players, they contribute close to 50%. The MSME segment contributes close to 50% to the GDP or the economy. And if the economy from 4 trillion has to grow to 5, 7 trillion, I think this contribution has to grow, and this has to propel the growth in the Indian economy. So we are very, very excited.
Wonderful. I think a lot is going for the MSME sector currently for them to chart out their growth trajectory ahead. And as you mentioned, you are helping to, helping them to get ahead by simplifying the whole credit landscape and by engagement and awareness, which makes it easier for them. Thanks a lot for joining us today. It was great to talk to you. Thank you.
In the interest of time, not too much of question time, but we can take maybe a couple. A gentleman here who had the question and probably the lady.
Thank you for a very great insight into the platform. Myself, I'm Vijay Lakshmi. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm an IT coach and I'm an IT coach and I'm a trainer. Okay? So for the woman entrepreneur, see, we are all from the middle class family. First time, if they want to come and start something, for woman entrepreneur perspective, so what are the features you're offering in this particular platform, especially for woman entrepreneur perspective, I'm asking. If they have a venture, they want to start, or if they already have and they want to scale up, what facilities you are giving through your platform?
So we just started this platform, and we haven't brought that aspect as yet, but I would suggest Sirish, who's sitting here, who heads our platform, to bring in that. There are other programs for startups, which we do, and we participate both with Government of India and the SIDBI. But for women entrepreneur, your suggestion is very, very valid. In fact, my wife is a women entrepreneur, and she runs, and I was mentioning it, she runs a seafood export company. And I keep hearing the challenges at home also in terms of what the MSME faces. So I'm quite aware of it, but Sirish, let's work on it, what we can do for women entrepreneurs.
Thank you, Jayalakshmi ಅವರೇ. ಬಹಳ ಮುಖ್ಯವಾದ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ ಅದು, ಮಹಿಳೆ ಉದ್ಯಮಿಯರದು. Thank you for bringing that up. One last question. Sir, you had one question that you asked for, I suppose.
Using technology to reach out to all the entrepreneurs. But there is thanks to GST, substantial part of the economy has got into the white economy. Still exists, there's a large part of the economy which is cash. I will tell you my own example. We manufacture bakery equipments, and most of the customers are bakers. And the entire trade happens in cash. And most of the accounting, there's no accounting, there's nothing much of a balance sheet, etc. Still, when they want to buy some capital equipment, they tend to pay cash. But sometimes they want loan in order to show to the bank and GST, etc. How do you handle this kind of a dichotomy between cash economy and accounted economy? How do you reach out to such people?
So, sir, that's a big challenge for any institution, because institution recognizes what's there on the paper. Yeah. And not only today, our regulators also, when they come, they see how do we underwrite, how do we assess the eligibility, and also, I think, but what has happened, sir, is because we also look at the banking behavior, yeah, and lot of this, and I don't know which segment, complete cash and all, but digital payments has gone up significantly in the economy. And that is creating transactional history for us to assess the customer and provide them loans on that basis. But just on the cash, we have our own limitations in terms of what we can do and how do we assess, because there's nothing on paper. So how do I assess before? Because we are also subject to audit and inspection and everything else. So I think, but gradually that is coming down. What it used to be 7, 8 years back and what it is today, I think that gap, and that's the reason I was mentioning the credit gap, which was almost 70%, has come down to 50%, and formalization of economy has really helping us to tide up with this. We are very hopeful that gradually things will, and even if it's not on the GST, but at least the banking behavior, and it will reflect in the banking statement in terms of the turnover of these MSMEs. And on that basis, we should be able to underwrite these customers.
Okay, I think as of now, I see no show of hands. So thank you so much. Thank you for being on this panel and giving so much of information on credit access and lending. Neha, if you could hand over a token of gratitude to Mr. Rakesh Singh. Thank you so much for the session. The stage is going to be set for a panel discussion. So do give us a couple of minutes. But meanwhile, thanking Mr. Rakesh Singh for this session. Thank you once again. In about a couple of minutes, we have the panelists for our next session who are going to be joining in. And in the interest of time, I'm going to be calling out their names just so that they can start proceeding towards the stage. May I invite Dr. Jacob Krasta, founder and chairman, CM Enviro Systems Private Limited, chairman L Square Eco Products Private Limited. Welcome, Mr. Krasta. Mr. H.R. Jairam, BCIC chairperson, MSME Expert Committee. Mr. Prithvi Raj, past president, CASIA as well as PIA, chairman, CASIA Center of Excellence and Innovation, chairman, Pune Industrial Township. So Mr. Prithvi Raj, as well as Mr. H.R. Jairam. I guess we can start this panel. We await Mr. Jairam's arrival in the next couple of minutes. My name is Vasanthi Hari Prakash. I'm a journalist and podcaster and the founder of Pickle Jar. Happy to be in conversation with people who we have seen on different panels across the years, in my own years in the media. Today, having this focus on reimagining growth for MSMEs. So I hope the mics are working. You may want to test that. Welcome, Mr. Jairam. Could you take that mic, sir? Yeah. To my right, Mr. Jairam, whose bio read very interesting, sir. It said that 75 years comes from a typical middle-class family where your predecessors worked for the government and you were the first entrepreneur in the family. Yes, so I'm going to also touch upon that entrepreneurship journey because it's so crucial when we speak of MSMEs, growth, and all these big terms. Where did the beginning happen, and how does it relate to the challenges that are faced by the entrepreneurs that are coming into the firmament right now? We also have with us, though I know that people here are, you may be familiar with them, but it's also an occasion to know different people. Dr. Jacob Krasta, apart from being a distinguished industrialist, you've held several notable positions in many prestigious organizations, past president of Pune Industries Association, as well as past president of CASIA. And we also have with us here, and I'm going to just leave some sheets of papers on the thing here, just so that I speak about Mr. Prithviraj. You started an SSI unit, which was called Bharat Printing and Packaging Corporation back in 1981 at second stage Pune. And I think the Pune of those years and the Pune of now, it's such a proud thing to notice that the unit is today one of the leading packaging material manufacturing unit in the state of Karnataka. You've also had major achievements like the other two gentlemen who are our panelists today, having been the president of Pune Industries Association. So gentlemen, I'm going to start by just asking that when we say MSME growth, in each of your sectors, where do you see MSME poised right now, and what are the top two challenges? Because we have a limited time, we have about 20 minutes to get past this topic. So may I start with you, Mr. Jairam?
Well, I think you're asking a very vast question, big question.
Yeah, and at the same time, top two, and in the sector that is your focus area.
Well, Pune is essentially an engineering concentrated. It's largely engineering, making a lot of machine tool components, and packaging, textiles, etc. It's limitless. The scope is limitless. And the challenges are also very, very large. What are the challenges? One is people talk about unemployment. If you go to Pune, there are more than about 6,000 units. Almost every one of them has a board outside, wanted helpers, wanted CNC machinists, wanted garment tailors and garment units, lady operators, lady workers. There's a huge challenge. You don't get people. Most of the people, we have become basically a training school for workers who acquire some skills and they go away after that. We supply labor to large units. The biggest challenge, more than money, is the skilled people. Yeah. That is the biggest challenge as I see.
Mr. Krasta, let me come to you as a founder chairman of the CM Enviro Systems Private Limited. You have had a long stint in this sector. So to add to Mr. Jairam's, let's say, what he shared, ನೀವು ನಿಮ್ಮ ಅಂದರೆ ಈ ಪೀಣ್ಯ ಅಥವಾ MSME ಸೆಕ್ಟರ್ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕದಲ್ಲಿ ಇದು ನೋಡಿದಾಗ ನಿಮ್ಗೇನು ಅನ್ಸುತ್ತೆ what could be the cusp of change? What could actually drive growth from the point here on?
When you say that it is Bangalore, you can imagine for the last 10 years how the traffic has been increased. Why? Mainly because of people, those who come to Bangalore from North India or in even foreign countries, they stay back. They don't go back. That's the main reason. The environment or the atmosphere in Bangalore, the cool atmosphere and the behavior of every workman here in Karnataka is not comparable to any other state. That's the reason why most of the small micro and the medium industries, those who have come, remain here Bangalore and increasing. And it is rightly stated that 8.5 lakhs of MSMEs, out of that, say 95% are micro, 4% is small, and only 1% is medium, contributing so much of GDP, employment, and export. How does it happen? Despite so much of subsidies, incentives by the government, which have remained only on the paper, not flowing down. And all that challenges faced by MSMEs, still they are doing it with this kind of employment. Take, for example, in every industrial estate. And even if we take the industrial estate, there are only, say, 6% of our MSMEs are situated in KSSIDC and KADB. 94% of the industries are in the private industrial estate. Just imagine that. So see the plethora of challenges faced by all these private industrial estates, but still they survive is because of the cool atmosphere of our Bangalore city.
So, Mr. Krasta, one of the things that Ms. Prithviraj and I were discussing outside this room, ivattu belage, is that many times we ourselves forget the potential of what, let's say, Bangalore being the machine tool capital, and then export business anta bandaga, some of them are not even categorized as exporters. They might be some people who are probably supplying as ancillary units, and they're like deemed to be exporters. So this tag matters. Now, I really want to come to you, Mr. Prithviraj, that ee ಒಂದು challenges ಅನ್ನು ತಗೊಂಡಾಗ what is the way that you respond as a veteran in the industry, and what are the major exports, first of all, of MSME in Karnataka, and how should they be facilitated to tie up with overseas businesses?
Thank you, ma'am. Wonderful to be here amongst all of you. Before I answer you this thing, all the three of us started the industry together in 1981.
Oh, wow. Okay.
1990, he became the president, he became the secretary, I became the joint secretary.
Three musketeers.
So we have traveled a long way. We have seen the ups and downs and in the microscopic details insofar as MSMEs are concerned. Ma'am, coming back to your question, the major exports from Karnataka, as what you rightly said in your address, the machine tool. Everybody knows Karnataka's IT capital, but machine tool capital is also again Karnataka. 40% of India's machine tool is from Karnataka, out of which 60% comes only from Pune industrial area. So you can imagine the kind of...
And yet Pune is so uncelebrated.
That's another big story. You will have to do.
It was the first startup capital in Pune.
Yes.
Startup is today. We were all startups.
So I'm actually in the presence of many pioneers, that is for sure.
Now coming to the major exports I will touch, the machine tools, engineering products, textiles, very big manner, polymers. So like this, the list is endless. And the more and more people are coming in, the more and more they're finding new markets, some of which is even turning out to be exports, either deemed or direct. So the list is endless going on. But somewhere we feel the pain, a lot of opportunities have been lost. People who came with enthusiasm, they wanted to export, they wanted to do something, but due to the issues which could not be addressed by them at that stage, they just had to fall back, and we lost the opportunity. When I went to China for the first time in about 25, 30 years ago, I wept in the industrial estate when I saw there. If this kind of infrastructure can be given to Indian entrepreneurs, ma'am, they would have swarmed the world. When we struggle for poor infrastructure, it hurts us a lot. But in spite of it,
it really lands up curbing growth and so much of potential that you say that the sector holds here.
Well, things what you can do in a week or two, you take months to overcome it. So much of time is lost, so much of expenditure is incurred. This is what hurts. But despite of this, we contribute 46% of India's total export from the MSME export. And in this, you are taking only those products into account which are exclusively reserved for MSMEs. There are the huge clusters of people who are sub-suppliers. I mean, he doesn't export, but he supplies to an exporter. like that. For example, I have one unit where I can make packaging product. I cannot export directly, but I give it to a person who uses it for packing his goods and exporting it. Like this, the deemed exports, if you take, maybe we'll cross 60, 65%.
So what is the gap here, Jairam Aure? For instance, if the associations, the role of the associations in having many of these schemes, I mean, ಅದಕ್ಕೇನು ಕೊರತೆ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಅನ್ಕೋತೀನಿ. So ಸರ್ಕಾರದ ಕಡೆ in the scheme, he said many of them remain on paper. But what is the role of an association in bringing those schemes to these entrepreneurs? Because many of them are just one man, one woman shows. We had Jayalakshmi Auru actually bring up that question. I mean, there's so many challenges. What can associations do?
Thank you for the question, Santi. We must understand micros constitute, as Krasta said, 96%. And all of them are one man or one woman shows. They have about 4, 5, 10 employees, sometimes 15 employees, etc. And the single person, he is the owner, he is the chairman, and he is the doorman. And he has to do everything. How does he have the time to maintain the accounts, purchase, he has to sell, he has to produce, he has to deliver, he has to go to the bank, etc. It's impossible. It is like, the life of an entrepreneur is like a housewife. Middle class, poor middle class housewife, where she has to do everything, whether your food is there or not, she has to prepare the food for the family. All the time is spent to survive. Forget growing, to survive for the next day.
Right.
The challenge is how to pay the salary for the next month. If the situation is something like you are in a pond with a crocodile, your focus is how to escape from the crocodile, not to grow or not to get out of this. It's a survival. If they have to grow, what should be done? You have to take out the daily chores from the wife so that she can devote some time for going outside, understanding, interact with people.
Yeah. So
what is the daily chore?
Associations' roles is what I would like you to focus.
Precisely, I was coming to that.
Yes.
The entire daily routine, for example, should be taken out. What is the daily routine? Accounting, purchase, marketing, banking, etc. If these are taken out, she can concentrate on the business, or the entrepreneur can concentrate on the business. Right. For this, in Europe, the associations have common facilities, common services, as they call. And the associations, they provide accounting, interaction with the government, common purchases, sales, marketing, etc. With the result, the entrepreneur is free to develop the business, concentrate on the business. And these common facilities can be established in the associations.
So let me then pause you there to say that while these are ideally what should happen, and in Europe you actually have a used case, in India, in Bangalore, in Pune, what is the scenario when it comes to associations accomplishing?
Yeah, Pune Association has done a lot. Possibly I would rate it as the best in the country or best in the state. But it's not true with all the other associations. So we are discussing with the current president how to establish a common facilities in Pune, particularly for very, very small units. We must encourage that to happen in all the other associations so that the entrepreneur can concentrate on the business and grow. That is the primary thing that we need to do.
So at what stage is that, sir? I mean, the setting up of common facility. All right. So before I come to Mr. Krasta, Prithviraj Aure, the infrastructure, what Mr. Jairam was saying, especially for women, whether they are entrepreneurs or serving in their own business units, or making it safe, or for new mothers. So is there some kind of an initiative that's been taken that you would like to share?
The initiative by the government or by the association?
By the associations?
Yeah. Insofar as Pune Industries, if you want to take, the association has always pitched very strongly for creating special windows or a special area or a zone for women entrepreneurs. Because we are the lucky ones who are able to get a KDB, KSIDC plot. The 96% are not lucky. They operate out of private places where the landlord says, 3 years, your rental agreement is over, vacate the place. Now, where do you go shifting the machinery, shifting the equipment, getting the power transferred? In pollution control board, you spend lakhs of rupees to get a CFO and CFE. But if you change the address, automatically the license are lapsed. Let us say from this road you move to the next road. Your license is gone. You have to apply afresh. You have to spend so much of money. These are all nonsensical things which hurts a lot, which we have gone through. Now we don't want women to go through this. So we pitch very strongly in so far as issues of women entrepreneurs are concerned. Recently, Pune opened a special as exclusive cell for to help and support women entrepreneurs. Even in Kashi also, similar exercise is being made.
So, which means that whoever the industry bodies, the associations, they have to be empowered in the first place. I'm going to come to that. I'm just checking if there are questions in the audience because I don't want to leave that to the end. In case you have a question right now, you can probably raise your hands and a mic will reach you. But Mr. Krasta, or even if you can add to that, sir, that what therefore needs to be done, because working it back to why we are here this morning, the Economic Times Enabled Summit and the Conclave, to reimagine the growth. I mean, it's really big words hanging in the stratosphere. But ಒಂದು ಮೂಲತಃ ಆ ಸೌಲಭ್ಯವನ್ನು ಕೊಡಬೇಕು ಅಂದರೆ what is the empowering that needs to happen?
First of all, the government has to trust. Trust the industry, trust the association. Instead of trusting a first division clerk or a second division clerk. If they can trust what we pay. Now, for example, earlier was a Rama Krishna Lekka, you, as rightly stated, Jairam, cash is received, cash is not paid, cash is not been accounted. But these days is not possible. After the GST implementation, definitely that kind of system, especially in industry, is not possible. So, what government has to do is give this kind of powers and the authority to the association to monitor, control, comply, and the file whatever the returns responsibility on the association. Why not? Instead of trusting your first division clerk or second division clerk. If association or the president or secretary does anything mistake, arrest them, put it behind the jail, no problem. Give all the powers to the local association. There are plenty of associations, product-wise, area-wise, all this kind of managed by association and the chambers of commerce. Why can't government trust? And government trust only IAS officer. Why? And starting from the first division clerk, whatever rights, even IAS officer can't overrule it. We are still following the plethora of that kind, British rule. Why? Today the things have changed. We have crossed $4 trillion economy, aiming towards 5 trillion. We are number 3 globally. Now already 5. We have crossed Japan turnover. We also in the UK turnover. Now we are going towards $45 trillion economy in 2047. And where the credit goes for these MSMEs? Why don't you trust them?
So the trust deficit that Mr. Krasta is talking about, how do we bridge that? That's something which I'm going to, as we inch towards the end of this discussion, I see a hand go up there. I also want to take a moment to ask this audience if you or any of you has availed of any government scheme for your enterprise. For example, I think if we talk about the CLCS, the Credit-Linked Capital Subsidy Scheme, which was meant for technology upgradation, there are other schemes as well. It will be great to understand from somebody who's done that firsthand. Meanwhile, can a mic please reach him? You can identify yourself by your name, sir, and keep the question brief, please.
Yeah, Tiago Valiappa, past president BCIC. The GDP of manufacturing in Karnataka is about 16 to 17%. GDP of Tamil Nadu and Maharashtra is about 23-24%. GDP of India, which is supposed to become 34 to 35% in the next 15 years, 20 years. I think the challenge is that it's not only the chamber, it's not only PINA, it's not only BCIC. It's a mega thing because
Sure.
today our metro station, our metro, the Hosur metro has got delayed because of Atmanirbhar Bharat. We have a superb idea of saying make in India, but we do not know how to do it. We do not know where the problem is. We do not know where the opportunity is. So there has to be a sea change the way I wish we had our government people also here with us. Because what is happening is hospital beds, I mentioned this about 2 weeks ago. India is doing 26 million operations in a year. It was doing 18 million about 4 years ago after the pandemic. There is no operational beds being manufactured in India. Everything is getting imported. There is a banned item. So I think what we really need to do is, even with ET, if we can, I mean, I don't know who's here, but then we need to look at a sea change of our operational system. If it's going to be the same way, I mean, Pune is doing a great job, but we'll only be going in, we need to multiply. We can't add 5%, 3%. It is to multiply double. So it's a huge change that one must bring in. And I think this is where the leadership will really matter, Pune, BCIC, and there's great opportunity. So how are you going to address that?
And how about the rest of Karnataka? I mean, we are, of course, focusing on Bangalore, but I don't know, Belgaum, there's Hubli, there are so many, there are the entire pivots of growth across the state. What has your collective experience been? Because as we end this sort of conversation, what will be the takeaways of, for people, for the government to address, to even begin addressing the challenges that he has spoken about?
Ma'am, see, for the association, the role is something which cannot be avoided. We are at that juncture now because we as entrepreneurs, we don't want to get sidelined or bypassed by some bureaucrat or some this thing who doesn't want to take decisions, allows months and years to pass away. We want to grab the opportunities which is coming our way now. And likewise, thousands and thousands of entrepreneurs are waiting. They've simply jumped onto the bandwagon and they're doing whatever best they can. Insofar as the associations are concerned, I would request all the associations take up two issues broadly. One is the local domestic issues, basically covering infrastructure and things like that. The other one is get into the market by creating databases. We don't have database. There are 200 countries in this world, but where are the data? Nobody knows exactly what.
When you say that, I mean, each association is to prepare a database of the industry and the verticals and...
Concentrate on 4 or 5 countries, 10 countries. Collect huge data about them. See, for example, a cutting plier which is sold at 300 rupees is here, is sold at 5,000 rupees elsewhere. Is the entrepreneur not losing the opportunity? Yeah. Maybe some polishing, some improvement in packaging, finishing, presenting it to the global market, those are all needed. That's where the associations can come in. But entrepreneurs need information support. This is where the associations have to create specialized cells, because associations are by and large run by entrepreneurs themselves.
Exactly. That was my question. I mean, the people who are running that association also very limited bandwidth because they have their businesses to run. So how exactly is this accomplishing going to happen? Mr. Jairam, you want to add to what he's saying?
Well, Prithviraj touched a very sensitive point and a very important point. Rakesh Singh talked about ONDC. We need to have much bigger than ONDC. We need to have an Alibaba for B2B businesses. Believe me, Alibaba is one of the king platform which has taken China to a very, very advanced level. You know, the exports of SMEs in China itself runs to almost about $100 billion or $200 billion, thanks to Alibaba. Am I audible?
Yeah, you are.
Okay. So what we need to have is Alibabas in India to promote SME products, B2B products. And Alibabas cannot be created by you and me or one association. It requires billions of dollars of investment. And the associations should get together to empower or to request the central government to create or convert ONDC into an Alibaba. That is number one. Second issue is, you talked about the associations, trust the associations. Central government has got enormous number of schemes for the SMEs. Why can't it be routed through the associations? Why should be routed through bureaucrats, as Prastha was asking? Associations are well run, they are professionally run. BCIC, PINIA, CASIA, everybody is, it's very professionally run. Why can't we, the entire government, use the associations to route and channel the various schemes for the SMEs to disburse whether the subsidy or implement those schemes through the associations? This is one of the issues I think ET should take it up as a movement and ensure that it happens.
I'm sure people from ET will take note of this. Before we conclude, Mr. Krasta, I see one hand up in the audience, and that can be the last one. Last question. We're running out of
Before
time.
that, just add on something. Yeah. As rightly said by Jairam, association. If CREDAI can take a control of real estate, why not MSME? If Swiggy and Zomato can order anything and everything comes to your house, why not an MSME? If income tax and GST is completely online, why not all parameters involved in MSME also are online? But here, unfortunately, in Karnataka, when it is online, unless and until you meet the officer, you don't get it. That should go. It should become like an income tax or GST. Everything is online. With the empowerment like CREDAI to the associations, I think we are ready to go Viksit Bharat, not in 2047, maybe in 2025 itself.
I think very well articulated. Yes, if you can say your question quickly.
Yeah, hi. My name is Kunal, and particularly I have one suggestion, maybe if this goes helpful. Like everything we can have, particular in PINIA industry, if we can have one window solution for all the compliances, and one window solution for all the employment and training purposes, and another window solution for the exports. Okay, so it can really help out to all the industries that they will go to only one place and they will get all this solved.
So this is a suggestion for the Sarkara.
Yes.
Not exactly. Okay,
that
fine.
One place. we can
That gentleman, yes, next to you. Yes, and we should.
Yeah, this is Suresh here from the Sona Velayappa Group. I have one suggestion for the Common Facility Center, which was addressed during the discussion. Why don't we use the academic institutions who has huge research and development facility, which is hardly used academically. In our institutions, we keep saying we have done an audit ourselves. We use only 18% of those equipments, softwares, and the infra available. Why can't MSME associations look at these areas where 82% of your institutions, which has the R&D facility, which has the machinery, equipment, can be used by MSMEs? I think that is one area where the associations can take a look at, is my suggestion.
Okay, thank you.
I'll answer that. If you go to China or Taiwan or Japan, any micro or small industry, there is a big cluster, a research organization. They will show you what are the research done and connected to the research, which industry has come, and the customer is taken to that kind of industry. That's the system. And the research is done by the government spending. Unfortunately, here, although we have, say, 98% of research organizations here in Bangalore, all private, all Fortune 500 companies, 98% have done research. But for MSME, there is absolutely no research. Although there is a cluster approach for each product-wise, only North India and Northeastern countries have taken the benefit, not South India. Unfortunate. So things has to change to a research, a quality product given to a manufacturer, and manufacturer with this kind of research center through associations or cluster approach can be done. So definitely we are successful.
Mr. Jairam?
It's a very interesting suggestion. I think it's worthwhile proceeding on this line further. In fact, these common facilities, my counter question is, association could really approach the educational institutions or MBA schools, etc. Would they be ready to provide common services for the SME sector? That is one question which I think is worthwhile taking it up. I would like to take up the dialogue with the schools, school, MBA schools as we go along to provide common services to the SME sector. It's a good suggestion.
Thank you. Yes, thank you. Suresh Aurge, dhanyavada. I can see that we are absolutely out of time, but it's been a very vibrant and certainly an authentic discussion. Now, no panels can lead to solutions in that sense, but there is certainly a starting point. And thank you for your time. Thanks to each of our panelists. May I request Neha to step up on stage, as well as Mr. K. Vishwanath, co-chair, MSME Expert Committee, BCIC, and Sri Sanjay Paigaonkar, Chief Manager, Techno Marketing, New India Assurance. If we could have the three of you on stage to give a token of gratitude to the panelists. Mr. Sunil, who's on the co-chair, we welcome you as well on stage. To Mr. H.R. Jairam. And first of all, an absolutely commendable stint in the, as a first generation entrepreneur of his family. It's been wonderful to hear your inputs. I heard that. I should say that to the audience. It is very invaluable to the entire industry.
Absolutely invaluable to BCIC in terms of his experience, his contribution, his ideas. Fabulous.
Thank you. I would request the other two gentlemen to please step up on stage. To Mr. Krasta, Mr. Jacob Krasta. Very vocal and articulate, of course, and in placing before the audience what are the pain points of the industry, and also to look towards solutions.
Absolutely outspoken.
Indeed, indeed. And to Mr. Prithviraj? The one-man army, as you describe. Okay. Yes. Thank you.
MSME sector.
Okay, I'm just saying what Mr. Jairam, I heard you say, that he embodies the MSME sector, and you could see that passionate plea from his side. It's been wonderful to have you all on the panel. Thank you so much, and I think a photograph could bring people a lot more closer.
Thank you very much. The moderator did a fantastic job.
Oh, yes.
Thank you. Pleasure. ಧನ್ಯವಾದಗಳು ಖಂಡಿತ. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you for the... Thank you for the good words. Of course, I feel very proud to be the spokesperson in one way for our Uru, and certainly a teller of this very, very important story of the MSME sector. Ladies and gentlemen, we are now moving to the next part of this program. And while access to finance is a critical element to scale and grow, there's much more an MSME owner needs to be equipped with. We know that part. Now, with this in mind, Aditya Birla Finance Limited, I'm told, has launched a platform called Udyog Plus. We heard Mr. Rakesh Singh speak about that as a one-stop shop for MSMEs. What I would now like to do is to invite Shri Shirish Mathur, Head SME Products and Digital Platforms, Aditya Birla Finance Limited, to give us some more insights. Shirish.
Thank you, and good morning, everyone. It's my pleasure to be in front of this room full of dynamic, resilient entrepreneurs and esteemed dignitaries from various industry associations. And that too in Bangalore, which is India's own Silicon Valley. But let me tell you, I have worked in Karnataka and traveled across Karnataka. And I completely agree with all of you were saying, sir. Karnataka actually, as far as MSME is concerned, offers a very diverse ecosystem. So it's not only IT, about IT or defense or electronics in Bangalore. Travel to Mysore and you see a lot of handicrafts and food processing industry there. I have traveled to Hubli, Dharwad, right? And I have actually seen agro industries, right? Machine tools. Tumkur is all about machine tools. Of course, Pune industrial area, we heard a lot about it in Bangalore, right? And that's an incredible place. So for financial solution providers for us, Karnataka actually embodies a state that presents all industries a very thriving ecosystem. But this also actually leads to so many industries have so many diverse requirements. Each one of them have their own set of requirements. But one thing which I find common across all the industries is every business owner, every entrepreneur wants to manage their business very effectively and they want to grow their business. And that is where, as Aditya Birla Capital, while we are a trusted name in the world of finance, we provide lending, investment, and insurance solution. We also thought of creating a platform which serves as one-stop solution. Rakesh briefly spoke about it, for all business entrepreneurs so that they can not only get access to financial services, they also get to manage their business very effectively on a day-to-day basis, and they also get tools and solutions through which they can grow their business. And over next 10 odd minutes, I'm about to talk about that. So this is a digital platform, and let me tell you, this is an open platform accessible to everyone, so you need not be a customer of Aditya Birla Capital. As a business owner, as an entrepreneur, you can access this platform on your desktop, on your laptop, mobile, and I'll give you the ways to access this platform. The registration process is pretty simple. It takes a minute to register on this platform. And what, as a business owner, you get on this platform is a plethora of tools and services which are related to finance. So you get access to all lending products, loan products that we offer, insurance products to protect your business, to protect your employees, and also investment products to actually multiply your money if you have surplus. But also, in addition to that, you get access to various tools that we have aggregated in the market, which allows you to run your business on a day-to-day basis, that also allows you to grow your business, find new prospective customers, prospective buyers, so that you can effectively network with industry peers and also find opportunities to grow your business while coming on this platform, and I'll talk about it in a while. Not only it has solutions for your own business, we also understand the way there are challenges for business owners. Even employees who are employed with SMEs, they also face challenges in accessing various financial services and tools. So we also have brought in all sort of solutions which even your employees would want to access. And as business owners, you also get this chance and opportunity to extend all these services to your employees and also make their lives easier. I'll start with the financial solutions first because that's the core about it, and that's where the huge credit gap that Rakesh also spoke about that exists. On this platform, we have financial solutions for the complete spectrum of business owners and SMEs. So right from a micro enterprise that looks at typically a small credit requirement, right, to a large entity that would require complex structured financial solution, large ticket solution, you have all of it on this platform. And all of this has been made accessible very easily through very seamless digital journeys. So for example, for a small ticket loan, which any micro entrepreneur would require, it's a complete end-to-end digital journey where you can come, you can find right set of product, apply for that product. We do not ask for documents. With your consent, we have integrated it with various digital public infrastructure at the back end to fetch your information. And we are able to underwrite a loan digitally for you. Not only underwrite a sanction and loan, even the disbursement is completely digital. So practically, in 5 to 10 minutes, I would say, if you're looking for a small ticket loan, you can apply for it, you can get a sanction, and you can see that amount getting credited in your account through this digital journey. We also, as I told you, for very small amounts up to 3 lakhs, we even do not ask for any documents. If you're looking at a higher amount, we give you an option either to provide your documents or give us consent so that we can get information, we can fetch this information from the authorized sources, which could be GST, which could be your bank accounts through account aggregator, and all this is run and delivered to you very digitally. For evolved players and business entrepreneurs who also want to fund or are looking at finance solution for their transaction with their suppliers, with their customers, we have host of supply chain solution. We can fund your vendor transaction, we can fund your transaction with your customers, help you in managing that working capital gap or the payment period gap, and structure these products for you. We also help you with solutions around factoring so that if you are dealing with a large corporate and want to fund transaction with that large corporate without actually involving that corporate, we can get those structures in place. And in a way, sort of help you in getting access to credit through the most convenient method which will suit your business model. So that's all is present on this platform. Apart from finance, we also, as I told you, we also provide solutions around insurance and investments so that you get all access to all financial services at one place and you don't have to run to various players, various places to get access to this solution. Just a glimpse of digital journeys, and this is just one such journey, and here I'll demonstrate very quickly how a small ticket loan for a micro entrepreneur works on this platform. So any micro entrepreneur can log into this platform. As I told you, this is an open platform. There is no fee to access this platform. All this comes at free of cost, and you get access to this solution. Anybody can start this journey, state his requirement, give basic information. As you can see, with consent, we can access your banking information, we can access your GST data if you are GST registered. And all our rule engines run digitally to show you an instant offer then and there, which you can select as per your convenience in terms of what tenor you are looking at, how you want to repay that loan. All those combinations you can select as per your requirement. And we are able to sanction your loan in, as I told you, in flat 5 to 10 minutes. Not only we give you a sanction, we have also integrated all digital services to complete documentation for disbursing that loan to you. And through those services, you can also actually complete the disbursement process digitally on this journey and see the money getting credited to your account instantly in 5 to 10 minutes, as I told you. Also, while that was an example of a very small ticket loan, which typically all micro entrepreneurs would look at, as I told you, we also have solutions, financing solutions for small or medium enterprises who look at a scale. And there we not only look at term loans or business loans, while we have solutions ranging from both unsecured and secured. Here, as I told you, we also have supply chain solutions where we can help you in managing your transactions with your vendors, with your customers, whether you are dealing with another small or medium enterprise entity or you are dealing with a large corporate, we can help you in getting finance to fund those transactions. So whether it's a working capital loan or it's a term loan for your business expansion, all these services are available digitally. And of course, wherever there are high ticket transactions, we have a large distribution. Rakesh spoke about the number of branches and we are present across the districts in Karnataka. The team is available there to come to your place and discuss that and help you in completing that transaction. This is an overview of secured products. So I started with an unsecured loan facility. Then I spoke about your supply chain and working capital solution. And here are, even if you're looking at a higher ticket amount, we have secured lending products available to you. So if you have a property or a factory to mortgage, then we can even provide you higher ticket loans to expand your business and build capacity. Now, while this was the finance part of it, and of course, we all realize there is a gap, and hence we have taken an endeavor to make finance very easily accessible to all business owners. But what we also understand, we heard some of our esteemed panelists spoke about it, right? I think business owner is also a chairman and a doorman. I really like that analogy. When I have engaged with a lot of customers, right, who run their businesses, but I also have actually come across similar examples. So some of them have told me that we are not, so while we are known as CEOs of our own business, but CEO for an MSME entity actually means chief everything officer, where I have to do everything, right? I have to manage my business growth, I have to manage my operations, accounting, bank, everything is what I also need to do. If I have to promote my business, that also is something I need to think of. And with that background and thought in mind, what we thought while launching this platform is that, of course, finance, of course, forms a very critical part in any business growth journey. But it's also day-to-day struggles that these business owners have to manage on their own. And hence, we have partnered with various service providers, leading service providers in the country, and brought on this platform various services that helps a business owner in managing their business on a day-to-day basis and also grow their business. So in the last panel, we heard some of the ideas around why can't trade associations become a nodal point where all these services can be made available. I would want to place Udyog Plus as a small effort in that direction, where it's a digital platform, so it can become your digital companion and at least getting access to some of these services that you require for your business. And then we will be happy to work with various trade associations in promoting it. So what is available on this platform is again a host of solutions for small businesses, starting from their business accounts with leading banks, accounting tools, invoice management tools, which they can get access to very easily, payroll systems for managing the payroll and HRMS for their employees. Even we provide solution around tax filing, advisory. So if you're looking at tax filing, advisory around tax filing, all those solutions are available. And these are some of the partnerships we have, already have, right, with some of the leading service providers. So it's not only access to the solution that you get on this platform. If you would see, and this is just a sample representative list, you get access to these solutions at an advantage or a preferential pricing. So for some of the solutions, these platforms or tools are available at a preferential pricing than what we will get otherwise in the open market, or there are one or the other benefits. One of the interesting example I can take of right now, and this actually also came out from our conversation with some of our customers. Now, as a salaried employee of a large corporate, right, and typically I get access to corporate travel benefits. I'm taking a very simple example. Now, I understand all of you as business owners also travel to grow your business, right, to meet your counterparties. But small businesses actually do not have access to corporate travel services, right, the way a large corporate would have. Here, we have tried to aggregate all those services and try to partner with travel service providers so that if you are a registered user of Udyog Plus platform, you also get access to the same corporate travel benefit that typically a large corporate or an industrial house would get. So these are just small nuances which we have tried to see and try to understand what all challenges, what all requirements are there in a day-to-day life of a small business owner, and have tried to fulfill them. And it's a small endeavor to bring all of them together on this platform. Not only while on the previous slide you saw solution which you would require to run your business on a day-to-day basis, we have also taken a step forward in also helping small and especially micro entrepreneurs to grow their business. So for example, this platform also has a business networking tool. Now all of us would agree, right, as individuals, all of us access Facebook, right, Instagram, which are social networking platforms. As a salaried professional, I have LinkedIn, right, where I can do networking in my professional network. But when it comes to business networking, I don't know if any one of us in this hall can think of a platform which allows a small business owner to network with like-minded entrepreneurs, right, and then find out prospective buyers, sellers. We have brought together a business networking platform where you can come, you can actually engage, find out your prospective suppliers, prospective buyers, promote your products, list your products, and then start actually generating meaningful business out of this platform. In fact, I have some success stories where there was a shirt manufacturer, he was looking for a button manufacturer, and then there are deals. I've seen those kind of business deals or conversations happening on this platform. Of course, the actual transaction happens outside this, but this is just an endeavor to connect various small business owners so that they can expand beyond their physical areas of presence and can also reach out to similar players even in the geographies where they are not present. Similarly, we were talking about ONDC, and there was a very noble idea that platforms like ONDC should look at evolving and becoming like Alibabas of the world to help the overall ecosystem. In a small endeavor, what we have done is we also provide connectivity to ONDC through Udyog Plus. So if you happen to be a retailer or a merchant and want to list your products online and start selling on ONDC online, you can even register on ONDC and take your business online through Udyog Plus. So all those tools, connections, integrations is what we have tried to provide so that this becomes one platform where you can also, which also gives you avenues of growth, avenues of finding new customers. We have also partnered with various knowledge service providers. So if you're looking at any courses for upskilling yourself, your employees or manpower, if you're looking at any specialized knowledge content, all of that is available, and with a very easy search option, you can access to all of this. So in a nutshell, this is all what about Udyog Plus as a platform offers. As I told you in the beginning, this is an open platform. This is the URL. You can access it on your laptop. Right now, you can also access it on your mobile, get a glimpse of it, and the registration process is very simple, and anybody can register. So I would encourage all of you to register on this platform, experience this platform, and we would be happy to take your feedback and further making it more meaningful for all of you. Just a couple of minutes on, as a step forward, while this is a platform where we directly reach out to all business owners like you, We are also very keen to partner with various trade association and industry association, and there we can work to provide all these services to your members, right? So for example, we were talking about Pune Industrial State, right? We can work with the association there to provide all these services to the members there in that industrial association. We would be keen to partner with all of you. It also, it could be one channel where all the small business owners in that association can get access to these services. It can also be a channel for association to reach out to a larger set of audience. We already have some 2 odd million SMEs registered on this platform. So it can be a meaningful conversation between us and trade associations, and we can really look at solving some of the real challenges on the ground. So this is also a thought that I would want to leave all of you with. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. That's all about it.
Shirish, if you could just stay back on the stage, and I request Neha to please come up, as also Sunil Telkar from BCIC to hand over a token of appreciation to Shirish, who made this presentation. I hope more people avail of that scheme and of course Udyog Plus as your aid. After this session, we have a chat and conversation coming up in the next couple of minutes, because it's true that on one side we speak of credit access as empowering an entrepreneur, but it's equally important to obtain insurance coverage. I'm sure you'll agree with that. The New India Assurance Company Limited, that helps MSMEs obtain adequate insurance coverage. We are going to hear more about this and how this is safeguarding success. The essential role of business insurance for MSME resilience and growth. That is the theme of the conversation. For this, may I request Mr. Sanjay Paigankar, Chief Manager, Techno Marketing Department, Head Office, that is, the New India Assurance Company Limited, to join Neha on stage for this chat. They have about 20 minutes between themselves.
Hello. Hi, Sanjay. And
Hi.
I think, in addition to all the important things that we've discussed, this also forms a very important segment about the essential role of business insurance for MSME resilience and growth. So I'll get straight into the conversation. And if we look at facts, MSMEs, though they contribute significantly to India's economy, less than 15% have adequate insurance coverage. Why are the numbers so low, and what really can be done about it?
Yeah, hi Neha, and thank you for having me here, and thank you ET for having us as the insurance partner. Just to tell you in brief, New India is the largest general insurance in the country, and like we have last year done a premium of 42,000 crores, and this is very close to heart, the MSME segment for us. And to answer your question, I would just like to, say that this gap is basically because, lack of awareness of insurance and the benefits that, it derives. So that is primarily, and secondary, I would say that the insurers, have not adequately reached this sector. That is what we find from the data. And also, insurance is like always, seen as an unnecessary kind of expense, Also, since the small businesses, run on very tight margins, right? So they, always prioritize other operational expenses and costs over the insurance costs. That is what is happening. So we understand these are the challenges, and these are the basic reasons for that. And also coupled with the complexities of the insurance products. That further widens the gap. So they address this issue, What I would like to, do is insurers should come out with some simple products which are very simple to understand,
And also we need to, have many more such awareness campaigns. Thanks to ET for, having such campaigns in this city and of course many others to follow. And this is what is required, because this continuous kind of, talk and hammering will be required. Then only the message of insurance will reach, to the MSME segment in particular. And we see a lot of potential. As you said, only 15% are, insured. So 85% are up for take. And there are like 30 insurers or plus in the market, and there is adequate scope for all of them to, get MSMEs in their books. So also, keeping that in mind, like insurance is something very crucial. So running a business, it's like juggling with, a lot of things for an entrepreneur, as we understand. And, in the midst of all this, if there is some kind of a business related event and which impacts their business. So that's where, it can be something small, just like a minor kind of a breakdown of their machine, or it can be very big, like a natural, disaster. So how are these entrepreneurs ready, to, take up or, overcome that? That is something which we need to, all focus on. That's what I wanted to tell the audience here, that insurance is something that will give you protection when things don't go according to your plans. For those unforeseen, unanticipated events, that is where the insurance will come to your rescue.
Right, and as we were discussing, they don't really consider this a necessary expense, like most of them, because they have a lot of other financial constraints, and this probably is at the back end. So my next question is about, 70% of SMEs have faced business-related risks in the last 3 years. So despite this, insurance is seen as optional instead of essential for them. So what are some of the primary challenges which MSMEs face when it comes to adopting business insurance, and how can these be overcome?
Yeah, again, I would say lack of knowledge about the availability of insurance products, lack of knowledge about what products they should go for, So these are the two main critical things where, you then think that you can put it at bay and we can do it sometime else. Then there is lack of information, lack of data available, because insurers require a lot of information about the SMEs regarding the valuation of their assets, or what they are earning, what is their income levels, or what is their profit margin. So many different things are required, to underwrite a policy for an insurer. So with that kind of information not there, so then the gap widens. Then there is, the complexities of SMEs also. SMEs are vast, diverse, and they significantly vary according to, the industry, the size, and the needs. So that is a complex, kind of a problem that, even insurers face while dealing with the SME insurance part. Then there is communication gap also, because insurance terminology is not very well understood by the small-time entrepreneurs, and that at the time of claim, while filing claims, they find it difficult. Also, there is a trust deficit sometimes when it comes to insurance, because they feel that insurance claim filing will be very, cumbersome or time-consuming, and because of that, that is not so much given that kind of importance. So that's what are, then the cost. Cost also, because the premium is not very, sometimes for a small businessman, it may not be very affordable, So these are a few challenges, and to overcome this, I would say that insurers need to come out with very simple kind of insurance processes, and have a kind of documentation also very clearly spelled out, so that it becomes very clear for the entrepreneur to understand what is required at the time of taking policy, what is required at the time of making a claim, so that he feels that that a confidence is instilled in them and that trust remains in the system. So, and of course, the insurers also need to speedily settle the claims. I think that efficiency has to be brought in. We are all gearing up for that, to bring the best in that, so that once that is there, when that is seen on the ground, because what we feel is one claim settled and very fast, that gives a good publicity for the insurance companies, and then we have many more customers. So that is how the idea for the New India Assurance is always to the customer-centric approach to win customers.
Yeah, and I think word of mouth goes a long way. And as you said, to your point of how MSMEs are very diverse and they have different needs and they are highly fragmented. And this also implies that their risk profiles are very different and their needs will also be varied. So how does the New India Udyam Bima policy cater to this particular diverse need of the sector and also remain, while also remaining affordable in the process?
Yeah, New India has come out with a special policy to deal with the challenges of MSME, and this policy is specially designed for this sector. And the beauty of this product is it is kept very simple. It is made up kind of a package of a few essential, so that a new enterprise who's just come up, they want to go in for insurance, they can start looking at this option. So basically the package it covers the property damage part, the property damage because of any exigencies like, fire happening in your premises, or there could be a natural kind of a calamity, flood or earthquake or a storm, anything can, have mishap kind of things that can affect your property. So the property damage part covers that. Then we have also the business interruption part, because you need to understand that if your business going to stop, there will be reduction in turnover, there will be loss of income, but there will be continue to have those operational expenses. So the business interruption insurance comes to your rescue by paying you for that lost income as well as for the continue. So insurance helps you to survive. It helps you to bounce back and help you to continue, because finally as a business entrepreneur you are looking to grow, right? You want that peace of mind, and insurance provides you that peace of mind, because by then only you can focus on your core business, and rather than worrying about the other factors, the other risks that you are going to actually and also I've seen that that most of the entrepreneurs they underestimate their risks, and they will not do a proper assessment of their risk. So what happens is they assume that there will not be any such incident or any something happening. इतने सालों से कुछ नहीं हुआ तो अब क्या होगा? So we want to continue like that. But that underestimation sometimes, because as you said, 70% are facing one business-related event, if you take an average of 3 years. So that's quite high. And I think all the entrepreneurs should go for insurance. That is what. Then again, coming to the other part of the package, apart from property damage, business interruption, there is general liability insurance, that protects you towards, legal liabilities that third parties can file against you for any, mishap, for a bodily injury, for, property damage or injury happening whilst, they come to your premises, or they are out of your business operations. So that is another kind of insurance which is very important. Then we have the burglary insurance, which gives you protection if there is any theft or burglary from your premises, and it covers cash. So there are so many things that the property damage part covered. Then you have the transit insurance. All the SME sector is so much into exports, and there are so many supply chain issues. So there we need to protect themselves with kind of a marine transit insurance also. Then we have the mandatory insurance like the workman's compensation insurance, where the entrepreneur is saved from any legal hassles, because the workman's compensation will take care of loss of wages and also the medical expenses of those employees who are there working, and if any accidents happen during the course of their employment, right? So that is the kind of package that we provide and then also we need to understand that the employers have take care of their employees also. So we have personal accident insurance, we have health insurance, so that because for everything you need to retain the talent, you need to attract new talent, and these are the kind of insurances when you have an employer who is giving you a very safe and a healthier and work environment, so you need to continue to work there. So insurance is not just a risk mitigation tool, it is also kind of various other means where you can retain talent, have your employees happy, because they feel that you are taking care of them. So, and last, I would say that in this digitization era, the cyber insurance is something which is a very significant risk. There are a lot many cyber threats we must be seeing, hearing. So it protects you against data breaches, and it also protects you against cyber attacks. So these are some insurances that, and our policy is like a scalable. We can add and delete, various covers depending upon the evolving needs of the SME business.
Right. So, I'm sure that most of the MSMEs won't even be aware that there is, there are these specific solutions which can address their very specific needs. So this fits in with that because, as you said, peace of mind is key. And instead of thinking that everything will always be all right, as you said. So this makes me come down to the last question for you. And since we have been discussing about how MSMEs have, a lot of them have not taken to this, I want to ask you about an example where insurance has helped an MSME recover from a significant setback and they have bounced back stronger. I think that would be a case in point in itself.
Yeah. There are many, but I'll just give a very simple one, where there was one entrepreneur, a small scale. He's having a kind of a printing shop, in a busy neighborhood. And on one rainy night, there was a lightning surge. And what happened was there was his printing machinery, the equipment that got a power surge. And there was a loss, and the repair cost was very high. And the repair costs were so high that it would put kind of a financial stress on his business. But luckily, he was prudent enough. He had equipment breakdown insurance with New India, and that actually came to his rescue. He could manage to get the items repairs very quickly, and put his he had a lot of pending orders, because he came crying and he was literally weeping in front of us, saying that I will not be able to service these orders, complete my orders, my this reputation with my clients is at stake, and I will lose my business. So but he had that insurance covering all his, so that came to his rescue, and New India have very gracefully paid that claim very quickly. And now today he has put up 2 more new shops, and that's how he has grown. And he's a loyal customer to New India, because he understands the importance of insurance and how it has helped him in the time of distress.
Right, and I'm sure that there are many such examples where having the insurance cover has helped them get back and recover much faster. So do we have time for questions? Any questions? Okay, I think all of them have understood insurance very clearly and taken
Thank you so much.
Taken it up from them. Thank you so much for joining.
Thank you.
It's true that insurance, as Sanjay was mentioning, is really not priority for many businesses, but he made a compelling case of why it should be and shared that story. Mr. Sanjay Pegankar, Chief Manager, Techno Marketing Department, Head Office, the New India Assurance Company Limited. Thank you so much for this session. Now, a much awaited celebration, I would say, when it comes to grit, determination, and success. Because after we have heard speakers of the industry, it's time to celebrate MSMEs that have been, that have had a remarkable journey. And these enterprises are those that have been supported by Aditya Birla Finance Limited in their business growth. Now, for this, I first of all invite Rakesh back to the stage. Rakesh Singh, Managing Director and CEO, Aditya Birla Finance Limited, as well as Shirish Mathur, to do the honors and the award winner names that I shall call out one after the other. Yes, if we can have you back on stage. So, ladies and gentlemen, the recipients of the awards this afternoon at this beautifully put together program, I would first like to call upon Ashok Kumar Surana. to him. ಯಾವುದೇ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆಗಳಿದ್ರೂ ಈಗ ಕೇಳಬಹುದು. ಇಡೀ ತಂಡ ನಮ್ಮ ಮುಂದೆ ನಿಂತಿದೆ. ಅವ್ರದ್ದು ಎಸ್ ಮಿಸ್ಟರ್ ಜಯರಾಮ್.
I would like to know can you use the associations to channel your credit flow, because the associations work very closely with the units. If you take, for example, I know only Pune Association and a few other associations in and around Bangalore. And most of the associations, they work and they know fairly well the status of the units. So you can probably use the associations in terms of what is the CIBIL score kind of a thing. They know more intimately, they know the entrepreneurs better than CIBIL. And probably a reference to the association, what do you think of this unit? How do you see its growth, etc., would help you a lot in your assessment of the credit, the extent to which you can go. And sometimes, when I was in the associations, I formed a bankers club. Bankers had a lot of problem with the units because units would not give the stock statement. They wouldn't even, they divert the funds, they open a current account somewhere else, etc. I formed a bankers club and tried to solve their problems, bankers' problem with units and units' problem with the bankers. It was fantastically successful. At the end of 1 year, we had almost about 3,000 units. We had no problem with the bankers. Probably you could leverage the association's intimate knowledge of the MSME units one is to improve the credit flow to your units and to secure a better understanding of the unit in terms of risk and growth, etc., etc. Thank you.
So, morning we discussed, Jaran sir, just to address, in morning chat we discussed this. After this session we would like to connect and we would like to give a complete briefing about underwriting and what best we can do a validation to that MSME segment. So in coming days we will have a workshop wherein our representative along with that chairperson we can discuss, and we will like to run through entire product offering of Aditya Birla, and it will be our pleasure to be part of association.
And taking it further, the number of units, which are registered with the SEBI, particularly who have gone into listed in this exchange, is very small.
Yeah.
Entire country is hardly about 4,000 or 5,000 units. And from south, it is even less.
Correct.
Bangalore, it's hardly about 30 or 40 or something. Now, there are a large number of, Pune alone has about roughly 50, 60 medium scale units. And they are not really aware of the procedures in terms of IPO, raising the money to the exchange, what are the pros and cons, etc. And you being from the private sector, and you also be almost a banker, probably you could give them multiple options of raising the funds, and then a mix of various instruments. Probably you could sensitize the units in that area.
Yes, sir. As you rightly said, awareness is important. So that's where once we'll connect, we'll understand each other. So we'll have a workshop in coming days. Thank you.
Thank you, team of Aditya Birla Finance. Thank you so much. I'd like to acknowledge the presence of Kasia as well as Laghu Udyog Bharti. From Kasia, we have Shri J.S. Babu. And from the Laghu Udyog Bharti, Shri P.S. Shrikant Datta, who is also the past president of the India Industrial Association. So, namaskara, and it's so good to have this representation in this summit. As we inch towards the final of this program, I would like to invite Dr. S. Devarajan, past president BCIC, senior vice president TVS Motors. Dr. Devarajan is going to be addressing as well as presenting the vote of thanks.
Everyone, namaskara. First of all, thank you very much for participating in this. My name is Devarajan. I represent Bangalore Chamber of Commerce as a past president and from TVS Motor. I think first of all, I'd like to congratulate every one of you. I think a lot of good presentation came up. and a lot of good points came up. So I tried to put two caps in my talk today. One is from the industry. I am from the automobile industry. And second, from the association. So before the vote of thanks. So I think to sum up, the points which came up very strongly is the strength of MSMEs, strength of the small-scale industries, strength of all our industries is dependent on MSMEs. I belong to automobile industry. I know how important MSMEs are for all of us. So first of all, congratulations to all of you who are in this team. And I really thank you for making India proud. I think India is growing in terms of GDP, India's growth in terms of further growth. But again, same thing, what's happening is, if I try to consolidate this thing, I think Selva Kumar did talk about Queen City, talk about the government initiatives and support to the MSMEs. I still feel a lot of information is required to be communicated across all the industries. There's a role to play for the association, the role to play for the industries like all of us. Bangalore Chamber of Commerce has got more than 850 members in Bangalore and in total South India also. And we have around 28 expert committees with us, and we can work very closely with all the MSMEs. We have an MSME expert committee like Jairam mentioned. And I think a lot of points came up saying that association, along with the government, along with the education institutions, can make a lot of changes further. I think we can take lead. I think we made a lead in terms of bringing all associations together and having one voice. At the same time, we need to push the government also in terms of the growth happening. And if I put into 5 major areas or 6 major areas, one is an opportunity we have. India is growing. Yesterday we launched world's first CNG scooter, and India is growing a lot. Automobile industry is a mobility for life, and India is growing and industries are growing. So we have a lot of good opportunities. At the same time, there are changes happening. The technology itself is changing in terms of the EV vehicles coming in, the CNG vehicles coming in. Whatever we are doing today, probably in the next 2 years may become obsolete or may become much more challenging. So we need to be aware of the challenges. MSMEs are good. The number of 8.5 lakhs of MSMEs, but changes are happening. We may have a threat on the industry itself. So we should be aware of it through associations, through the industries. That's the second one. Third is the communication. I'm telling you, a lot of work is done in Pune Industry Associate, CASIA, and we probably need to communicate along with MSMEs, along with industry institutions. We will work together. From industry, we'll work together. We have a lot of MSMEs, level 1, level 2, but technology is changing. How much of importance MSMEs are giving to technology is one thought we should have, because things are changing. 3 things which happened in many of the areas is, we are all in the business to be competitive. All of you will agree. One is the quality, cost, delivery is important. But what's happening is quality, cost, time is becoming very important. If we miss the time, we are missing the bus itself. So that's a challenge happening to all industries, including our industry too. So we had opportunities are plenty. At the same time, we need to communicate. Third or the fourth area is on the skill sets. Like what Jairam did mention, how much is the next level of MSMEs leaders are spending time to bring their skill set up? Or how much of time? I think we did from BCIC, we want to education institutions. We want to ensure that it happens through the communication to the next level. And of course, competitiveness in which how much we are in. We may be thinking that we are number 3, number 2, number 1, growing globally in terms of GDP. But there are many countries behind us in terms of communicating and challenging India. Vietnam is one area. So we can't be saying that India is growing and it will grow. No, we have to ensure that we work together. I think this is an initiative which ET did take, and this is a very good initiative. Communication, becoming one force, bring the government to what we need as a growth of India. Then it becomes a very important. So competitiveness and the next steps. Next step after today should be able to communicate each other, bring industries together. I think it's a good opportunity we have in terms of what we can do next. See, I think I'd like to mention one more point is Rakesh Singh did mention very nicely in terms of the tools which is used. I think we can work together from BCIC, communicate all these tools which is there, and ensure that it reaches the MSMEs in a strong way. So the areas in which we can do, in terms of, I think you're talking about credit gap of 70% coming down, And opportunities are plenty. Problems are there, but can we work towards the solutions of these problems? So this area in which I think BCIC and all the association can work together. The panel discussions were outstanding. A lot of frank opinion came up. But I think all these experiences in the panel can work together as a team. I think all the expert committee like Jairam, Kastra can all be experts to bring together the associations, the government, the education institutions together and put these points to the government. I think the government policies, I'm sure, yesterday as we were discussing in many things in Delhi, we had a lot of new schemes there. Plenty of government schemes. If I read out the schemes, you will be surprised there are so many schemes in India for MSMEs. Almost like Prime Minister's Employment Generation Scheme, Mudra Scheme, Credit Guarantee Scheme, SIDBI Scheme, Digital MSME Scheme. There are plenty of schemes. But how well it is communicated is a big, big gap. I think ET can take a lot of good points in terms of communication, bringing together the technologies what we have, the schemes which is there. And yesterday we were talking to Mr. Gadkari also saying that how much technology can bring. And he says, I'm ready to come for any discussion with BCIC, with anyone. We want to communicate. We want to ensure. And there's a positive sign. But I think as an association, as ET, we can really take it up strongly. And this is the right time. We are growing and we have opportunities. We should not miss the bus. So that's another. So what's happening is, if you really see in terms of the MSMEs next, so one is, and many MSMEs are there. I think we did talk about micro MSMEs. We need to see the growth of MSMEs towards the next level. That's the opportunity we have with us. But I think because of these schemes, what are the areas, MSMEs will like to be in the MSME itself. They don't want to grow higher because they lose some of the opportunities in terms of defense areas, many areas. So probably vision, mission, working associations together, integration among the associations and the industry and the MSMEs, technical challenges, and the next skill sets. So I think we can work together. We have a very good opportunity for us to grow. So in terms of one voice I did mention, the main theme would be integration. The government initiatives, associations initiatives, MSMEs growth which is happening, and definitely on 3 E's in terms of the 3 I's or in terms of the industry, institution, interface. So I think we have a good opportunity today, and this is a very good point in which we brought all the things together. ET, we can take it further in these opportunities. So I think we have access to the market. There are other ways of looking at it. One is the push and the pull. There's a lot of push from the government, a lot of new initiatives saying it should be Atmanirbhar, we need to say environmental green, a lot of good push. Sometimes when there's so much of push, we must, probably 4 years, 5 years back, when we had the environmental regulations coming up, we said we are in terms of the Bharat 3, Bharat 4, we said how can we really meet Euro 3 norms, Euro 4 norms, Euro 6 norms? But I think we have done much better. I think India is much better in terms of the Euro norms. So we have got the opportunity and skill sets and thinking in our mind. I think we should not lose this opportunity to grow further. So that is another thing. Another thing is in the market itself. India is a huge market by itself. If you go to rural market, I'm from the automobile industry, rural market, urban market, new industry, young population, the huge market here. That's why all industries want to come to India. So we have a good opportunity. So we need to cash on that. Second is on the green sustainability. And so there's a pull from the especially from the market itself. Push from the government, pull in terms of the market. We need to go into 4 or 5 areas in terms of technology, in terms of the skill sets, what we can develop. Think about the risk, what we have, whether it's finance risk or any other risk. I think this is a good opportunity. I really thank ET for bringing this up as a point of discussion today. So if I really go into the points which I learned today, in terms of the points which came up in the finance, in terms of the government initiatives, is the energy in which India is growing. I think all of us, after this event, we feel that we are energized, saying that we have got good opportunity, your growth is there, so we are energized. Can we energize our own team when you go back to our industry? Small scale industry, whichever industry we are, automobile industry, whichever industry we are, can we energize our own team? The third E probably should have empathy to listen and work together as one voice. Probably that's an opportunity where we can do along with the institutions. Fourth is an edge, technology edge, what we can do. So let's bring the technology edge to Bangalore, to India, and see that we grow in terms of our areas. And fifth is on the environment. So I think today, we learned a lot of new things. Points came up in many of the areas. I really learned a lot today. So in terms of the vote of thanks, I think really thank Selvakumar. I think he did, normally he's a man of few words, but I think we should go and meet him more, talk about it more and more. I think yesterday there was a discussion, Gunjan Krishna, if you're able to bring those points to all of us, it will be very, very useful. And India is definitely, gym is a big progress in Karnataka. It's going to happen in February. And in fact, yesterday when we had launched our vehicle, I was with Mr. Gadkari. We were mentioning about this, about the gym. Probably the communication can be much more. Because they're really, Bangalore is known to everyone. Whatever you say, definitely Bangalore is thing. Probably we need to go outside Bangalore. Devanhalli, Tumkur, and the infrastructure, what we did discuss today along with Selvakumar, is an area which all associations can work together in this. I thank the distinguished panelists. Outstanding. It was very, very interesting for all of us. And I think all of us gained a lot of points. They did talk about problems. I think they did talk about solutions also. Today is the VUCA world. Everyone talks about problems and we don't know, uncertain, complex, ambiguous. Probably we should look at positive VUCA. Say, what are the opportunities we have? Instead of saying volatile, can we talk about value add to our members, to value add to our customers? I think that's a point which I think Jairam did mention in his this thing. Uncertain. Can we tap the untapped potential of our people? We are all youngsters with our team, with our education institution, like I think we did mention about the education institutions. Can we have untapped potential of our people? Complex. Can we have customer focus in what we do? And ambiguous, can we have action-oriented? Next action, next steps is the most important thing. I think did come up very well in the panel discussion. And I think did very well point mentioned about in the insurance. Very valid point. I think normally we feel that insurance is an additional cost. But I think the point, if you miss the taking insurance, I think communication may be a big opportunity for all. I think BCIC will work together. With Aditya Birla, I've got a lot of positive points because I was in one of the technical committee here in one of the Aditya team. Huge amount of technology happening in Aditya also in terms of the paint coming up. There are many things happening in the Aditya team too. So I really congratulate the entire team. We did mention about the opportunity we have in terms of the challenges. I think the panel discussion came out very well. I really have a special note to Economic Times. Really good in terms of and Bangalore Chamber of Commerce. I think we talk about definitely a lot of work has happened over the 4 months, 5 months, I don't know, relentless planning has happened together. And how to bring all the policy team, industry along with all of us, institutions and one roof discussion. Probably this can happen over maybe half a day may not be enough. Probably you can have much more time on it. I really like to thank MSME committee, community. Thank for their participations today. And I think a lot of enthusiasm, resilience is shown. And all of us are contributing to the GDP, as we see, and we can be proud of it. And at the same time, we know what are the risks we're going to take it forward. What are technology risks we're going to take? Are we aware of it? Take the next step to make definitely Karnataka and India proud. I'd like to acknowledge the supporters, the sponsors. Aditya Birla, Capital Finance, Insurance Partner, New India Assurance, State Partner Government of Karnataka, ecosystem partner like Invest Karnataka Forum, MSME partner GOK, and association partner like Kazia, Pune Association, BCIC, and all made this possible. I really like to thank our BCIC MSME team and Rajeshri in terms of making a lot of good points along with Economic Times. Jairam, Sunil Telkar, Vishwanath, thank you very much for all the things. Jacob Krasta, and Rajeshri and Preeti from the Secretariat. Definitely Shalini, Neeraj Dubey, lot of good points that come up in this, work tirelessly. I think this is only a starting point. A lot of good opportunities are still available with all of us to work together and bring the team to make it. As we move forward from today, one thing is, let us take all the ideas forward. A lot of new ideas came in, and we look forward for Economic Times to, yes, sorry. Correct. I think we should take it forward in this, and I really look forward for Economic Times to drive this. I think one of the best papers whatever you have, and one of the articles, lot of things we learn from Economic Times every time. I think we can carry forward the ideas, collaboration along with BCAC and other associations, commitment, and work towards the gym. This is the right opportunity for us to take these points in the gym 2025. This is the landmark event for this. Let's make gym extremely successful, and we ensure that MSMEs not only survive, but definitely be the leaders in terms of the economic growth in the country. So I thank you very much for all the time taken today, and a lot of good points which came in. We can learn as a team together, and let's take Karnataka forward, India forward in the next steps. Thank you very much for the opportunity.
I know, but there's a souvenir that awaits you, Mr. Devarajan. And Neha, if you can step up on stage, please. Thank you for your address and the vote of thanks, because that's when you get to know what's gone on into the making of a program anytime. And that's why I listen to vote of thanks with very keen interest, because the backstory is always very interesting. Thank you so much. With that, we come to a wrap of this edition. All of you have very patiently stayed back, asked questions, engaged, and made this a very purposeful event. And therefore, again, thanks to the presenters, because this ET Make in India SME Regional Summit 2024-25 Summit could not have been possible without your cooperation. And it's been held in association with Aditya Birla Finance Limited as a presenting partner, the New India Assurance Company Limited as the insurance partner, Government of Karnataka as a state partner, BCIC as the industry partner, as well as Invest Karnataka as the ecosystem partner. The big events are coming up in February. I know this audience knows all about it. And it's time for me, Vasanthi Hariprakash, to sign off at this stage. I'm very thankful to Economic Times for always inviting me to be the host of this and the enabler of and moderator of the panel discussions. It's been a pleasure to be with you. Namaskara, dhanyavadagalu, elrigu.
दो मिनट कभी 2 मिनट हुए हैं क्या?
2 मिनट में आती हूँ, 2 मिनट।
अरे भाई 2 मिनट में ला रहा हूँ सर, 2 मिनट। 2 मिनट में तो ये भी नहीं बनता।
पर सिर्फ 2 मिनट में बिजनेस एक्सपेंशन लोन नए तरीके से मिल जाता है। उद्योग
We wanted to hand over the token of gratitude to Ms. Neha. Dr. Devarajan would request you to please step up. And Mr. Jaira, please join in handing over the memento to Neha. Yeah. Thank you. And we would like to hand over the token of gratitude to Ms. Vasanthi. Vasanthi, please. And from BCIC, we would like to acknowledge the hard work which Neeraj has put in. Neeraj, please. No, please. ड्रामा का ही नहीं है.
कभी 2 मिनट हुए हैं क्या?
2 मिनट में आते 2 मिनट.
अरे भाई 2 मिनट में ला रहा हूँ सर, 2 मिनट है. 2 मिनट में तो ये भी नहीं बनता.
पर सिर्फ 2 मिनट में बिजनेस एक्सपेंशन लोन नए तरीके से मिल जाता है उद्योग प्लस से. अब लोन के साथ एक ही जगह पर बिजनेस की सारी जरूरतें भी पूरी करे आसानी से. तरीका बदलो, बिजनेस बदलेगा.
गुड मॉर्निंग सर. सर मार्टिन हियर. सर आपके लिए एक बढ़िया पर्सनल लोन है सर हमारे पास.
आपके बिजनेस ग्रोथ के लिए परफेक्ट बिजनेस लोन अगेंस्ट प्रॉपर्टी भी है सर.
चाहिए आपको?
अरे नहीं यार, आदित्य बिरला फाइनेंस से मिल गया. बड़े बिजनेस ऑर्डर के लिए चाहिए था SME लोन.
लोन अगेंस्ट प्रॉपर्टी दूसरी फैक्ट्री के लिए
सबसे फास्ट, कम से कम डॉक्यूमेंटेशन
और अट्रैक्टिव रेट्स भी.
ओके मैम, फाइन.